dinner tonight, I'm making chicken mozzarella pasta. It is one of my family's favorite dinners. It's hearty and delicious, and best of all, it takes no time at all to make. Now, I'm cooking some bite-sized chicken pieces. These are boneless, skinless breasts, and I cut them into pretty small pieces because that'll make them cook a little bit quicker. Sprinkle in some salt and pepper. Okay, now I'll let the chicken start to cook, and I'll get some of the other ingredients ready. I'm gonna dice up an onion. That's gonna go into the pan in just a minute. Okay, now I'll grab a couple of cloves of garlic. Garlic always makes anything a little bit more delicious. Okay, I got the onions and garlic all ready. Now the chicken, it looks like, is ready to come out. It's got some nice color on the outside. The good thing is the chicken doesn't have to be all the way cooked at this point. After I make the sauce, the chicken's gonna go back in and finish cooking, and that just makes the sauce even more delicious. Okay, got all the chicken out. Now I'll turn the heat down just a little bit, and I'll put the onions right into the pan with all that wonderful chicken flavor. I love making sauces like this where the meat goes into the pan first, and then it just flavors everything you put in there after that. Okay, now I'll just stir around the onions and garlic. Okay, now it's time to put the pasta into the water and get it cooking. It's boiling and ready to go. I'm doing penne pasta, but of course you can do rigatoni, pretty much any kind of pasta you have in your pantry. And that's why I love pasta dishes. There are no rules, just use whatever you've got. Okay, now I'll let the pasta cook, and I'll move on with the sauce. The onions and garlic are already starting to turn brown. Now, part of what makes this dish so easy and so quick, I use really good quality marinara sauce right out of the jar. I use it all the time. It's a really delicious shortcut ingredient. Now, I do want it to have a little bit more of a liquidy texture, so I've got just the thing. I'll reach into my pasta pot, borrow a little of the hot water, and just put it right into the skillet. The pasta will never know it's gone. Now, to give it a little bit of a kick, I add some crushed red pepper flakes. Now I'll just stir that in. The last thing to do is just add the chicken back into the sauce, and it's gonna simmer, finish cooking, make the sauce even more delicious. It already looks good. Okay, now to give it a little green, I'll mince up some parsley. Okay, I'll just mince up the parsley, sprinkle it right in. All right, now the sauce just has to simmer for about 7 to 8 minutes. Now I've got one thing to add to the sauce, and it really elevates this dish from just a basic chicken marinara pasta, fresh mozzarella. Now I'm cutting it into cubes, not very big pieces. I'll just cut it into sticks. They're about 1/2 inch square. I'll just sprinkle it right in. This mozzarella is a pretty soft cheese, so it's gonna soften really quickly, but I don't want it to totally melt. I still want it to stay in pretty nice chunks. It's just gonna take 2 to 3 minutes for the cheese to be perfect. All right, the pasta is done. I love these pasta pots with the built-in colander. Now I'll put it into a great big bowl. I love these huge pasta bowls. And then I'll drizzle the pasta with a little bit of olive oil. Now I like to put a nice layer of parmesan shavings on the pasta before I put the sauce on. It just adds a nice layer of deliciousness. I'm just using a vegetable peeler. Okay, I think that's a good amount of parmesan. Now give the sauce a stir. Ooh, the mozzarella is melting. It looks perfect. And I'm just gonna pour this right over the pasta. A lot faster than spooning it. Wow, and the cheese is gonna continue to soften. Okay, now I wanna add some green to the top and some flavor. So I've got some beautiful basil. Now I just stack up the leaves real roughly. I'm not trying to be precise here. This is a 16-minute meal after all. And I'll just roll them up and just slice them pretty thin. And with that, dinner is done and in 16 minutes flat.